Bev Craig, Labour and Cooperative Party, 309,525. The total number of votes is 466,703. Therefore, I declare that Bev Craig is duly elected as the Mayor for the Greater Manchester Combined Authority.
Originals, I'm Emily Carver. Please do give this video a like and subscribe to our channel for more content like this, and do leave a comment. Let me know what you think.
Thank you. And can I just begin by thanking all of the counting staff that have worked so hard for its election, both here in Manchester and across Greater Manchester. It's been a long day for you. It's much, much appreciated. Thank you also to my fellow candidates. But the special thank you has to go to the residents of Greater Manchester. To have trust placed in you is honour. I'm honoured, I'm humbled, and I stand ready to serve the 3 million people that live across this fantastic city region. And I will serve every single one of them, every single day. I never believed, as a girl growing up in a council estate, that one day I would have the chance to stand for the place that I love, the place in this world that I'm proud to call home, and to offer my service to make our city region better. Because Greater Manchester is special. We talk a lot about our history. We talk about the role that we've played from the birth of the Industrial Revolution to the trade union movement and Peterloo. From the suffragettes through to modern inventions and splitting the atom and the invention of the modern computer. We've changed the world in many ways in the past. But Greater Manchester's potential lies in its future. And when Westminster walked away from us, when we were struggling as a deindustrialised city region, it was the people in this place that began the journey to rebuild. And people often ask me, what is it that I feel makes Greater Manchester so special? And it's our people and our communities. And during this campaign, I've got to see that firsthand in every single corner of this city region. In every proud village, town, and both our cities, I find fantastic people doing incredible things against the odds every single day. Rejecting the politics of hate, but standing with their neighbours, looking out for each other. The spirit of a place that their neighbours will give their final pound in their pocket to help their struggling friend do the right thing. But for too many people across our region, life is simply too hard. The generational belief that we had, that if you work hard and you did the right thing, then your life would be better, and the life of your kids would be better, is something that many people just don't feel at the minute. And that is the challenge that we in politics have to face up to. And it's why I set myself a simple test, and I make that commitment to you today, that every single decision I take as your Mayor of Greater Manchester will pass the test of making your life better. It will put more money in your pocket, and that was one of the reasons that my first pledge was around free buses for 11 to 18-year-olds, to put 500 quid in the pockets of families and give a message to our young people that they could be anything they wanted to be and go anywhere they wanted to go. That everyone in our city region deserves a good quality home that they can afford in a safe neighbourhood, and that everyone has to feel the benefits and successes of growth. You have to feel it in your pocket with good jobs in every corner of our city region, and you've got to see it on your high streets and when you walk out your front door, restoring pride into our high streets and town centres. But it can't just be about building the basic fundamentals of a good life. It's creating a good life. It's letting people make those decisions where they plan with optimism and hope for the future. Things like spending time with friends and family with enough money in your pocket to do it. To plan for your holidays, to plan for your trips, to be able to think of the life you're creating for your kids. And that's what we can do here in Greater Manchester.
Labour secures Greater Manchester as Bev Craig triumphs in high-stakes by-election, driving modern British politics. If you want to stay ahead of the political curve and truly understand what is happening behind closed doors, make sure you take a second right now to subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell, and join our growing community of informed viewers. Subscribe today because it truly helps the channel keep delivering these deep, sharp, analytical breakdowns directly to you. Now, let us dive straight into the seismic shift that just shook the north of England. The dust has finally settled inside the Co-op Live Arena in Manchester, and the political establishment is taking a collective deep breath. After a marathon 15-hour count, Labour candidate Bev Craig has officially been declared the new mayor of Greater Manchester, securing a decisive victory over Reform UK's candidate. On paper, this is a triumphant moment for the Labour Party, holding firm in one of its most vital regional strongholds. But beneath the celebratory speeches and the engineered optimism, the raw numbers tell a far more complex, intriguing, and frankly unsettling story about the current state of British voter sentiment. Let us unpack the mechanics of this victory. The election was conducted under the supplementary vote system, giving voters two preferences on their ballots. In the initial round of voting, Bev Craig commanded a strong lead with over 251,000 first preference votes, representing roughly 38%. Reform UK landed firmly in second place with over 111,000 first preference votes. Once the second preference reallocations were tallied, Bev Craig emerged victorious with a final total of 309,525 votes, taking roughly 66% of the final two-candidate split, while Reform UK closed on 157,178 votes. At first glance, a 2-to-1 victory margin looks like a landslide. Westminster insiders are already hailing this result as proof of a sustained momentum following recent leadership shifts, citing a regional bounce in support for the government. Bev Craig's acceptance speech was impeccably crafted to project warmth, humility, and grounded northern resolve. Growing up on a council estate in Belfast before making Manchester her home, she spoke passionately about her mandate to serve all 3 million residents across the 10 boroughs. She laid out key policy commitments designed to directly ease household budgets, including free bus travel for young people aged 11 to 18 via the expanded B network, a comprehensive push for local high street regeneration, and a firm promise that every mayoral decision will pass a simple test. Will it make everyday life genuinely better for local working families? However, if you look beneath the polished acceptance speech, the underlying political geography reveals massive structural shifts. The headline figure that every serious political analyst is quietly hyperventilating over is the turnout. At just 25.14%, this was the lowest voter turnout in the history of the Greater Manchester mayoralty. 3 out of every 4 eligible voters chose to stay at home, demonstrating a stark, undeniable apathy toward the traditional political process. When vast swathes of the electorate simply refuse to engage, an electoral victory, no matter how large the percentage margin appears on paper, rests on remarkably thin ice.
Anywhere they wanted to go. That everyone in our city region deserves a good quality home that they can afford in a safe neighbourhood, and that everyone has to feel the benefits and successes of growth. You have to feel it in your pocket with good jobs in every corner of our city region, and you've got to see it on your high streets and when you walk out your front door, restoring pride into our high streets and town centres. But it can't just be about building the basic fundamentals of a good life. It's creating a good life. It's letting people make those decisions where they plan with optimism and hope for the future. Things like spending time with friends and family with enough money in your pocket to do it, to plan for your holidays, to plan for your trips, to be able to think of the life you're creating for your kids. And that's what we can do here in Greater Manchester. And the final thing I'll say is that this is about the city region that we want to be. This is the greater Manchester that we can be. And that has to come with the belief that we can build things that make life better. And I'll say this really plainly. To those that voted for me, thank you. To the Labour support that turned out, thank you. To those of you that lent me your vote, thank you. And for those of you that didn't vote for me, I will still be your mayor, because I will defend this city region with every bone in my body, and I will fight for a better life for all of us. So, the hard work begins. I've done this with a promise and a plan, and my promise and commitment to you is that I will make this city region better, but I will work for everyone. I will be a greater mayor for everyone, and we have to heal. We have to move away from divisive politics that try and pit neighbour against neighbour, and we'll work together. We'll do it together, we'll deliver together, and we will build a greater Manchester that works for all of us, that we're all proud of, where everyone feels welcome and everyone has a chance to succeed. Thank you.
This is precisely why you need to stay tuned to Britain Underneath, as we constantly dissect the numbers that mainstream broadcasts gloss over. If you value this level of frank, unbiased political analysis, please hit that subscribe button right now. Pleading with you directly, subscribing takes just a split second, but it genuinely powers this independent platform, helping us bring you the mature, rigorous coverage you deserve. Please subscribe, support the channel, and ensure you never miss a critical update on the shifting sands of British power. When you analyse the first preference vote breakdown, the fracturing of the British political spectrum becomes undeniably clear. Reform UK consolidated a formidable second-place finish, solidifying their position as the primary opposition force across industrial and post-industrial northern communities. Meanwhile, the Green Party put in a surprisingly robust showing, capturing nearly 65,000 first preference votes. But perhaps the most sensational dynamic buried in the first-round data is what occurred on the right wing of the political map. The newly formed Restore Britain Party secured over 46,000 first preference votes, outpolling the traditional Conservative Party, which slumped to a dismal 41,000 votes. Think about the sheer weight of that dynamic for a moment. In a major metropolitan city region, the historic party of government found itself relegated to 5th place on first preferences, outpaced not only by Labour and Reform, but also by the Greens and a brand new insurgent right-wing entity. The traditional two-party monopoly in British politics is not just fracturing. In key northern urban centres, it has virtually evaporated. The Conservative brand in metropolitan northern regions appears thoroughly depleted, leaving a vast, disillusioned vacuum that newer, more radical political movements are eager to exploit. For Labour, this outcome is undeniably a vital strategic win that prevents an embarrassing regional upset. Bev Craig brings immense executive experience to the mayoralty, having led Manchester City Council through turbulent economic times and served as deputy mayor, overseeing major business and economic growth portfolios. Her supporters point to her proven track record in driving urban regeneration and advancing pioneering social housing initiatives as clear evidence that she possesses the policy chops to steer the city region forward. Yet the political landscape she inherits is fraught with tension. During the broadcast coverage of the results, commentators immediately seized on past municipal housing initiatives championed during her council leadership, sparking heated national debate over targeted local authority schemes versus broad-based public provision. The studio discourse highlighted a growing ideological divide over how public resources should be managed, illustrating that regional municipal politics are now directly caught in the crosshairs of national political debate. As we evaluate what this means for the broader nation, one must ask, is this result a firm endorsement of the government's current direction, or is it merely a reflection of a disciplined Labour ground game, mobilising a loyal core base amidst overwhelming wider voter detachment? When 75% of the public sits out an election, The winning party receives a statutory mandate to govern, but missing out on a broad emotional mandate from the populace leaves them vulnerable to sudden shifts in national mood. Take a deep breath and look at the broader picture unfolding across the country. The electorate is increasingly unpredictable, impatient, and deeply sceptical of political rhetoric. Voters are no longer bound by ancestral party loyalties. They are demanding immediate, tangible improvements to their standard of living, their high streets, their public transport, and their local services. If the newly elected regional leadership can deliver on pledges to freeze transit costs, revive ailing town centres, and build genuine local prosperity, Labour can cement its northern wall for a generation. But if economic pressures persist and public frustration deepens, the insurgent forces that captured hundreds of thousands of votes in this by-election will be waiting in the wings, ready to capitalise on any sign of faltering resolve. This brings us back to the central question driving British political life today. Can traditional governance mechanisms adapt quickly enough to satisfy a public that is rapidly losing faith in the system? The numbers from Greater Manchester provide a fascinating preview of the upcoming general political landscape, a landscape defined by low engagement, high fragmentation, and an intense battle for the soul of the working class. We have covered a tremendous amount of crucial ground today, dissecting the raw data, the strategic implications, and the shifting voter dynamics that will define the political horizon for months to come. Stay informed, stay vigilant, and always look beneath the surface of the official narrative. Before you click away, I urge you to take a brief moment to subscribe to Britain Underneath. It genuinely helps the channel grow, allows us to continue producing high-standard, independent political commentary, and ensures you are always the first to know when major national events unfold. Please subscribe, encourage your fellow political enthusiasts to join our growing community, and make sure you watch our videos all the way through to the end, every single time, so you never miss a critical piece of the puzzle. Thank you for spending your valuable time with us today. Stay safe, stay informed, and we look forward to welcoming you back for our very next video.